to Happy Chick. Today we are taking a look at the hard Southern tea. Is it ready? Well, let's find out. We have been having this sit for what, almost 2 weeks now? It was using Safe Ale 04, and that's supposed to be a fast brewing yeast, so I don't know, we'll see. Alrighty, so here is the ale. It's looking pretty good. It almost has an orangey tinge to it though. I'm going to take out the orange peels. No, we used lemon peels. Meyer lemon peels. I'm going to be taking those out today in case it needs to sit a little bit longer. I'm going to take them out anyway because they're starting to kind of get a little really well, not funky, but funky. Well, not funky growing stuff, but you know what I mean. We're going to take a hydrometer reading, and that's going to tell us where this puppy's at. That's the only way we're going to know if she's done, if she's, off-gassing, because I just saw a bubble pop up. So it might be off-gassing. That's the carbon dioxide just kind of off-gassing, just releasing it from the solution. Or she could be still just churning away there. We don't know. I just saw another bubble, so she might not be ready yet. But we're going to take a hydrometer reading to find out. So, here's my trusty hydrometer and my test tube. Not test tube, calibrated tube. Everything here has been sanitized in my sanitization bucket and Star San. And let's take this lid off. And, ooh, she smells good. I'm going to get the peels out so I don't even have to bother worrying about working around them. But I'm trying not to disturb anything. It does really look like orange peels. If I did not know that I had used Meyer lemon, I would have thought I had used orange peels. And the brew is pretty cloudy too. It hasn't really cleared at all. It's kind of surprising. So I'm kind of leaning towards it might not be ready. We'll find out though. Whoop. Come on. That's the other reason why I wanted these peels to be big, so that I could scoop them out pretty easily. Alright, those are the ones that were floating. That's most of them anyway. So, I think I might also get a little sample glass and take a taste of this also. It really smells like an orange. That's so weird. Well, it's Meyer lemon, and Meyer lemon is kind of like a cross between a tangerine and lemon. So maybe that's why it does kind of have that orangey kind of smell to it. We started at, let's see if I can find them in my notes, 1.076 is what our starting gravity is. So that's probably about, I'll put the ABV calculated somewhere down here, but I'm guessing it's probably about an 8-ish percent. So we potentially have 2 more percentages because this was about 10%. Of course, now the yeast don't know it's on the package, so they might be done for. Or they might give up a little bit more. Who knows? Let me go ahead and get a little taster glass, and we're going to taste this. I'm going to put the lid back on it. It has been unseasonably warm here, so I don't want any buggies getting into my stuff. No buggies. All right. Hold that thought. I'm going to go get me a sample glass. Okay, so here I am with the sample. Definitely not clear at all, and it's really hazy. But it really does have that, orange smell to it. It definitely has an orange flavor to it. Instead of the lemon, there's not lemon, it's an orange. The tea flavor is pretty much gone. It's almost like a watered down Tang. You know, I mean, it's not bad, but it's certainly not what I was expecting. Um, it is a little on the drier side at 1.022. So, and if I have about an 8% average, I'm thinking if there is any more gusto left of this, I might try carbonating it with a little bit of sugar, put them in bottles that can sustain some pressure and have like a controlled carbonation. I think we're going to try that. Like I said, it's an experimentation before, so I've got some bottles that have been proved for carbonation. They're old kombucha bottles and things like that, so they're carbonated safe for pressure. You don't want to put these in just regular wine bottles or anything like that. You want to make sure that they are in bottles that can sustain some sort of pressure. But I'm only adding about an ounce of sugar for that whole gallon. So it's just a little bit, enough to maybe give it some carbonation. And sometimes with carbonation, drinks taste sweeter. So maybe with that tricking your mind into thinking it's sweeter, might be okay. I think I'm going to roll with it that way. So we're going to go ahead and rack this puppy. So let me get set up for that. Let me drink this. All right. Even though it's cloudy, you know, I'm just going to roll with it. So we're back. I've got everything pretty much cleaned up for the next round. I've got my bottles. Now, if you'll notice, these are really thick glass bottles. These are kombucha bottles that I had previously bought in the past and recycled, took the labels off and everything. So they have been sanitized. And they've been proven to hold carbonation, so I feel pretty safe with this. Also, I'm only adding 1 ounce of sugar to this entire gallon of brew, so it should be pretty controlled. The 1 ounce probably won't even push us over the 10% at all, with whatever left sugar there is. So I'm not too stressed about adding that much there. I'm not too overly concerned about, you know, them breaking or anything, but just to be on the safe side, I'm going to put them in a cooler, and that way if one does break, it's contained and I won't have a mess in my room where I have all these stored, or where I'm going to have these stored. I also have 1 plastic container. This will let me know when or if carbonation even occurred. This will get harder, like when you buy a soda from the store, it's hard as a rock, and as soon as you open it, you can squeeze it. So this will let me know if the pressure is building up. And once this is hard, I know that the carbonation is done. If I have any concerns, then I could probably either put these in the refrigerator to keep them cold, because the cold will slow the yeast down from producing any carbonation whatsoever, or pasteurize them, kind of depending on what I feel might be needed. But that'll be, you know, I think we're close enough to the edge where I won't have to do either one of those. I'm hoping anyway that we'll get a little carbonation. That'll be kind of nice. But if not, they're bottled and they can age a little bit and maybe clarify a little bit more. It'll just have a little bit of sediment on the bottom. So that's my safety one. And then I've got these for actual holding. So I've got 1 ounce of granulated sugar, priming sugar, whatever you want to call it. It's just white sugar, 1 ounce. And then my jug with my tea that's been off the lees. Now, I probably did get some lees. I mean, the lees were so thin. It's just the yeast and like a lemon seed, I think, was in there. I might have actually sucked up the lemon seed. That darn lemon seed just keeps following me like a bad shadow. Anywho, if whoever gets the seed is the lucky one. We're just going to call it that. Anyway, I'm going to pop this lemon. Anyway, I'm going to pop the sugar into the pitcher here. Okay, and splash myself. Maybe I should have been a little bit more gentler with that. And stir this up. I want to make sure that the sugar is dissolved. I don't want to go too crazy with the stirring because I don't want to introduce a whole lot of oxygenation. But I want to get the sugar dissolved. Here we go. I think I've got it. Here we go. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and start filling up these bottles. I've got the bottling wand already on my siphon. And I'm going to raise this up on the coffee pot or the coffee tin, whatever you want to call it. Probably going to have to stand again for this. I'll show you one and then we will just fast forward through the rest of them. So, all right. Get some of that sanitizer water out if I can. This is the times where I wish I had another hand. But I don't have to worry about sucking up any leaves or anything. I can just kind of shove that in there. We're going to shove that in here and then we're going to let it go. Okay? So, I'm going to pop that in here. There we go. All right, so I managed to get 6 bottles in my old kombucha bottles and the one tester one, I guess. I don't know what to call this one, the plastic one. The one that will tell me if it's done or not. That's about for a gallon. It was a little low on one, but you know, it's okay. I think it'll be just fine. Not really low, like, you know, inches. It was just like a half an inch shorter than the other one. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put these into a cooler, room temperature for carbonation can take anywhere from just a couple of days to like 7 days. So I'm going to put them in. I'm going to check them every single day. Well, check this one every single day. You can see how it's kind of squishy. There's no carbonation to this whatsoever. So what I'm looking for is this bottle to start getting hard. And that will let me know the carbonation is starting. And after several days, I should be able to see some carbonating happening. with this being hard and starts kind of getting, because it's all squinched up and everything. After 7 days, if it's not done anything, then I'm probably just going to go with the fact that the yeast gave up everything that they could and that I'm not going to get anything more out of them. But I'm hoping to get a little carbonation. I'm really surprised at the flavor though, honestly. I had no idea what this was going to taste like. I figured it was going to be more like a tea. If I made this again, probably I would hold off on any flavors until after the tea has brewed, and then maybe throw in some lemon peels for a couple of days to flavor that tea. But this is what it is. It's an experimentation, and we will see in a couple of days. I'll come back with this when it's ready, and we'll do another taste test and see what's going on with this. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Come back for the next one, and you guys have a great day. Take care. Bye. Hey everyone, just a quick catch up on the hard southern tea. I put this in like 3 days ago in the bottles, and it only took 2 days for it to get hard as a rock. I mean, this is pretty hard. I can't really squeeze it too well. So I'm guessing I probably jumped the gun on bottling these a little too soon, because the ABV actually ended up being 7.09, so it was lower than I anticipated, and with adding a little bit more sugar, which was only 1 ounce, but it still kind of made me a little leery. So I chucked these all in the refrigerator a day ago, and so it's been sitting in the cooler or in the refrigerator. I just got off of work, so we call them coolers. Anyway, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm trying to get this video done for you guys. It's been an awful week, let me tell you. Well, I don't have time to tell you. Anyway, there's a lot of sediment on the bottom. I don't want to turn this too much because I am going to be opening this, but there's quite a bit of sediment. It has cleared up a little bit, but it's still hazy. It almost looks like an orange crushed soda. So, it is what it is. I wanted to open this up and show you guys and taste it before I post this video. So, it has a little bit. This is not a really good lid, so I'm sure it lost some. Let's go ahead and pour some out. Got a little bit of fuzz, not a whole lot. The glass bottle's probably sealed a whole lot better, and there's a little bit of fuzzies on the side of the glass. You probably can't really see it too well. I don't know. Can you? I don't know. Anyway. It's changed flavor. It's still orangey, but it's not as heavy. And I have the little bit of an alcohol flavor to it, but not a whole lot. So you could either mix this with regular tea just to kind of give it a little shook, because if you mixed it half and half or something, you'd end up with probably like a 4% alcohol, which some of you might like. Or just drink it like this, at 7%, kind of like a beer of sorts. So it's kind of like I think they would call this like a, like a summer beer kind of, or something like that. I don't know. It's pretty good. I like it. Now, Jen, this is probably not like your twisted tea, so I'm going to call it Jen's Wicked Tea. Still attributed to you, but I'm going up to 50. It's the bubbles. Let's just scratch that. We're not even going to bother. I'm just going to drink this. Anywho, I wanted to let you guys see it and the completed version of it. So, yeah. I think this is a winner. It didn't turn out anything like I thought it was going to, but it's actually quite nice and refreshing. So, have a great day, guys. Cheers. Bye. Take number 3. We won't know until we do a hydrometer meeting.